So we are, what, 1 or 2 days at this point away from Season 2 Reloaded, Modern Warfare Deuce and a Half, and Warzone, and I'm probably going to be making some videos on that. So we're going to switch it up for a video on the channel today. We're going to go with some Battlefield 2042. Now, I've been meaning to make a Battlefield video for a while at this point, but I never got around to making a list. Like, I actually want to make, not a script, but just like a list for the video. And I just want to talk about the things that I want to see in the new game. Mistakes that I don't want to see them make that they made with Battlefield 2042. I'm sure like they've learned from a lot of those mistakes. I'm sure most of us can agree at this point that 2042 was in such a better, like, there's a lot of people that never bothered to come back to the game, but 2042 was in such a better state now than in what it was at launch. I seen potential there at launch in the beta, you guys know, but that game, like, I made videos saying that game should have been delayed. There was a lot of mistakes that they made with that game. We got Vince Sampella running the show now for Battlefield. And I mean, Vince is the man. Vince is who you want with these games. Like, he was there front and center for COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. Two iconic Call of Duty games. And Infinity Ward kind of fell off after that. And then he went on to give us Titanfall, which is a great game, in my opinion. Both of them, Titanfall 1 and 2, both are great games. They didn't really take off, but I still thought that they were great games. And then Apex absolutely exploded. I'm not really into the whole Battle Royale scene. You guys know this, but you can recognize how big Apex got. And you know, Vince Sampella, I'm telling you, he's the guy that you want running the show for games like this. But I haven't gotten around to making that list yet. We will at some point. I'll find some time. I'll make the list. I'll make the video. It's gonna be different though, man. Could you imagine? Could you imagine me sounding all professional and shit in a video? that's gonna be different. But we're gonna talk about a few of those things in this video because just recently we got some leaks for Battlefield 2025 is gonna be, apparently, it's coming out in 2025, October of 2025. This info dropped about like a week ago now, and that's my bad, man, for not getting to this sooner. But I'll put the screenshot up here for you guys from Battlefield News. Game is set in the modern era, 2025 to 2030. I think that is perfect, man. Modern is where it's at. For Battlefield and Call of Duty, you know, you can make an argument for potentially returning to future warfare in Call of Duty, but I think modern is just a sweet spot, man. That's where we need to keep these games at for now. We are in the modern era. I want to play modern shooters. That's where I'm at. Will feature 64-player matches, which is exactly where it should be. Maybe you could go a little bit higher than that, but I think the 128 players was a mistake for 2042. 64 players is damn near perfect, man. The 128 was like, it was just too chaotic in certain parts of the map, but in other parts of the game, though, the maps were so big. Sometimes you'd be running around for a while and not seeing nobody, and then you make it over to one spot of the map, and it's just pure chaos, man. It was like, I didn't think it really worked. 64 players, much better. Maybe they could find a happy medium and go with like 80-some players. That might work out, but 64 players, I guess they're done with the whole 28 players. I think that's the right move. And they're coming back with the 4-class system at launch with destruction. And I think those were two big mistakes that they made in 2042 as well. They rectified the class system a little bit, but still with the specialists, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't work like it did in a Battlefield 3 or a Battlefield 4. So I think they're going to get away from that specialist bullshit. Like, I like some of the specialists in 2042, but some of them are fucking cheese, man. I don't think it really works. You know what I mean? The only game that had a specialist type system like that that I thought worked was Black Ops 3. Every other game that I played that had these type of abilities, I feel like they just kind of take up too much of the gameplay, man. There's no real skill there when you got the specialist cheese. So I'm glad they're going back to the 4-class system right out of the gate. None of this bullshit wait for months, over a year, whatever it was it took for them to add them into 2042. And the destruction, man. The destruction, I think we can all agree when you look at the destruction in like Battlefield 4 and shit, and you look at what it was in 2042, yeah, it's definitely nowhere as close to how great it was in the past, man. So the destruction, this is what Battlefield is known for. Battlefield needs to play to its strengths. Destruction is a part of that. It's immersive, man. Makes you feel like you're on the battlefield. You're the one holding that gun. You need this destruction, man. But here is the thing that I got a problem with these leaks. We'll also have a free-to-play Battle Royale mode. Now, Call of Duty adopted Battle Royale back in Black Ops 4 with Blackout, chasing that Fortnite money. But that wasn't free. You had to buy the game in order to play it, and I actually thought that that was Call of Duty's best version of Battle Royale. But we've had Warzone ever since. Since 2019, we've had Warzone. Now, a lot of people will tell you different reasons why Call of Duty is in a worse state nowadays than it was in the past. The greatness that we saw from COD 4 to Black Ops 2. You know, people will argue skill-based matchmaking, and the people that are saying skill-based matchmaking has killed Call of Duty, or it's ruined Call of Duty, whatever it is, has made it worse. These people are not wrong when you're talking about the matchmaking with Call of Duty. The matchmaking in Call of Duty is absolutely disgusting, and it definitely chases players away from the game. Some people will argue the microtransactions, the bundles, they're not really that micro, but the bundles we get in Call of Duty, you know, it's bundles over content, and that definitely has something to do with it too. And some people will argue Battle Royale, Warzone. Warzone killed Call of Duty. And I think skill-based, the matchmaking they have in Call of Duty is far more diabolical than Battle Royale. But I definitely hear these people out. And ever since we got Warzone and Call of Duty, multiplayer has been on the back burner, man. They don't give a flying fuck about multiplayer. They just want you buying bundles. So they put all their time and energy and resources in making these cringy bundles while we just get the leftovers for content in multiplayer. Just the crumbs they slap together. There's your content, man. Oh, here's a couple of new guns. They're identical, just with different names. They're identical to guns that you already have in the game. And then here's a couple of remastered maps. There you go, man. Here's your content. But check out these bundles, though, for Warzone. Check them out for Battle Royale. You need these cringy-ass bundles. You need some pink bunny ears with the COVID mask and shit. Like, it's gotten wild in Call of Duty. I'm not saying that Battlefield is going to go down the same cringy road that Call of Duty's on right now, but we are talking about EA. They had a Battle Royale in Battlefield 5, and that didn't really work out. The looting, I remember the looting absolutely sucked in that Battle Royale, but it didn't really work out. They walked away from it, and I think it's a mistake them bringing a free-to-play Battle Royale with this game. We see the track record with similar games, similar companies, and we see the type of people that like to play these war games, man. A lot of people out here, they're not like myself or some of y'all listening to my voice, where we play a war game, we want to feel like a soldier playing a war game. There's a lot of grown men out here that like to play war games, and they like dressing up as a rubber fucking ducky. Even though it's a first-person shooter, they barely ever see that skin. They like paying $30 for this shit. They like the pink guns, purple guns. You got the little TV screen that pops up with your anime profile, your female anime skin, operator skin. And then you got the pink guns and you're dancing and shit to some weird music. Like, they love this shit. And it only takes one bundle, one really feminine beta male bundle. That's all it takes. Battlefield will see the money rolling in from that one bundle. $30, whatever it is. That money's just rolling in from that one very feminine bundle. Oh, they're just going to start pouring it on, man. And then they're just going to slowly move away from Milsim. And it's all going to be feminine pink bunny ears and fucking rubber duckies and Nicki Minaj and all this other horse shit that we see in Call of Duty now, man. And most of their attention is going to go to the Battle Royale and not the actual multiplayer that you paid full price for. We're seeing it with Call of Duty. We've been seeing it with Call of Duty for years now at this point. I think it's a fucking mistake bringing Battle Royale to Battlefield 2025. But I'd be cool with it if we don't lose anything on the multiplayer side. The shit that you pay full price for. If we get a full game, jam-packed with content, then that's fine, man. You got your little team for Battle Royale. They can go over there. They could try to make the best version of Battle Royale that they can. Just as long as it doesn't take anything away from the multiplayer side of it, well then whatever, man. With the bundles and shit, that's still cringe as hell. But that's fine, man. We still get a full game, and it's got a ton of content, and actual quality content, then I would be fine with it, man. But I just can't see that happening. And didn't they just lose some people over there at EA? I don't know if those people were working for Battlefield or not, but they still just laid off some employees. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, we've seen track records, and it doesn't look too good, man. You know, Call of Duty's got more resources than God himself, and they still can't get it done. We're struggling over there, man. We're like a dog with his tongue hanging out. We're in the desert, dehydrated, dying for a drink of water, and the devs will just kind of spit on us. Here you go, man. Here's some hydration for you. Like that's what we get on the Call of Duty side. But either way, I'm interested in seeing what they got. They've learned from some of their mistakes with 2042. We'll see what they got for Battlefield 2025. But I hope they give us a cross-console play option, man. None of this cross-play with PC. Like, fuck all that shit, dude. I'm at a point now where I've installed the PS4 version of 2042 on my PS5, man, because I can't do it, bro. You know, you got K&M nerds in Call of Duty crying about aim assist all the time, even though they're dominating in almost every single game they play. Every time they die, though, they might go 50-5 that game, but they ate those 5 deaths, and that was 2 controller players and, you know, aim assist, right? It's, you know, it's like, dude, it is such, K&M is such an advantage in Battlefield over controller. I have no desire to be a part of that shit, bro. They got to give us a cross-console play option or input-based matchmaking where we could choose. Controller plays with controller, K&M cheese, you play with K&M cheese. But that's all I got for this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on that next one.